This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? Is your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, stressful game. Ended up being a stressful game for the Knicks tonight. We win 149 to 148, high scoring affair over the Atlanta Hawks. Right? So we take a 2-game winning streak into the break. And that's great. That's all fine and well, but my goodness. Could we have botched the fourth quarter any worse? Sends the game into overtime? Almost lose it in overtime? I mean, even in overtime, they get a wide open look from 3 somehow, some way. You know, there's a lot to talk about in this basketball game, for real. A lot to talk about in this game. We get the win. We get the win by 1 in overtime. A lot of points, 149 points for the Knicks, 148 for the Atlanta Hawks. You know, but it was a tough one. It was a tough one. You know what I mean? And there's a lot, just a lot that can be said about this game. But we had to get it. Kevin, you're right. No, there's no reason for this game to go into overtime. I think we had a 16, 17, 18-point lead at some point in the first half. And we go into overtime after being up double digits. This is going to be a much-needed break for the Knicks, without a doubt. It's a much-needed break. You know? Much-needed break. We need this time. We need the rest. And then when we finally get back, we need the practice. Hopefully we can get Mitch back. But geez Louise, man. Geez Louise. Tony Crow will be here soon. I got my man JJ from Brooklyn on the line. JJ, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling?
What up, man?
Are your
good,
nerves
man?
together? Are your nerves, you got your nerves straight? You ready? Can you talk?
I just had to put my AC on, man, because I'm sweating bullets over here, man.
Yeah.
Was.
I can dig it. I can dig it.
That was stressful, man.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, we got this, last 10 seconds. I was like, all right, we good. We home free. And then before you could blink, it's like, what just happened right there?
Tell me about it.
Sloppy inbounds pass. Bridges looked like he was scared of the ball on that inbounds.
Oof.
I mean, boy, oh boy.
The ball not going to the right places at the right time of the game.
Who's that?
I said the ball not going to the right places at the right time of the game.
Yeah.
Right. Karl Anthony Towns had 44 points tonight. He should have been touching that basketball down the stretch, and he wasn't.
Exactly.
He wasn't touching the basketball. That's a problem. That's a problem.
No
I know
doubt.
we won the game and all of that.
No doubt.
But Cat has got you got 44 points. You had 42 in the fourth, whatever
thank
it was.
God Brunson hit that shot at the end because, a lot of possessions in that fourth. It was, sloppy turnovers. I know his numbers were great, but, Daniels was having some key defensive plays versus him, a couple strips.
Mm-hmm.
I give Brunson credit just for shooting the way he did the last 2 times versus Daniels because that's one of the best defenders I've seen in some time, honestly. I mean, he's tough out there, man.
Yeah.
He is. And I got one complaint about the offense.
Okay.
I know it sounds crazy considering we scored that amount of points.
I mean,
Mikal Bridges, right? Remember their last game when he did to Trae Young? Why did we go away from that this game? He was on him the whole game, like last time. You know.
I don't know. I mean, in the down the stretch, the end of overtime, Bridges was on him. You seen Brunson was on the bench. Landry came into the game to play some defense, and Bridges was on Trae Young.
No, I mean like offensively. I mean.
Oh. Trae Young was on Bridges while we wasn't going to Bridges?
Yeah. Because remember the last game versus the Hawks, they had Trae on him, and he just cooked him all game, mid-range all day with the mismatch. And we just didn't we went away from that tonight. I would have liked, I know we scored a ton of points, but like if I had one criticism, it would have been that we didn't take advantage because Trae was defending Bridges for pretty much, 90% of the game, it felt like. Yeah. And we did go away from it. I know Towns was hot. He's always going to be the third option.
Right.
But I'm not saying he should have got, way more touches when Brunson and Cat had it going, more so Cat. But I still thought he should have got some more touches.
Okay, I can understand that. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, without a doubt, I can understand that. I think a big gripe of mine kind of has to do with Brunson. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I felt he was challenging Daniel Dyson a little bit too much down the stretch, trying to go at him. You know what I mean? Right. Where we could have been getting the ball to Bridges. Trying to target Trae Young. Right. And of course,
right.
Karl Anthony Towns, had it going. Why weren't we going to Karl Anthony Towns?
Yeah. I mean,
using the two-man. Both guys had it going. Brunson and Towns had it going. Why are we not using the two-man game instead of watching, Brunson dribble the air out the ball?
I think it's he kind of saved himself, Brunson, with that game-winning shot. Because he missed that, it would have been been a rough night with Knicks fans for Brunson.
Yeah, he'd have been getting fired up right now.
They're probably still giving it to Brunson,
Probably
right?
still. Probably still.
I get it. I mean, listen, thank God he hit the shot, but boy, I mean, give the Hawks credit, man. They fought. They got some clutch rebounds. I like that center, that big man. How do you say it, O'Connell? I like him a lot.
Yeah.
He's a good player. I like him.
Karl Anthony Towns, 3 shots in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
3.
Wow.
1 at the elbow and 2 from the three-point line. That's not good enough for someone who's got 40-plus points. It's not good enough.
Absolutely.
It's not. It's just not good enough. In overtime, Karl Anthony Towns, 1 shot.
Wow.
In overtime, Brunson, 1, 2, 3 shots in overtime. Fourth quarter, Brunson, 1, 2, 3, 4 shots in the fourth quarter. Oh, okay, so Towns took 3 in the fourth quarter. No, I'm sorry, Brunson, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots in the fourth quarter. He was 2 for 5 in the fourth quarter. I still say Karl Anthony Towns needed more shots in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. No argument here. Do you feel this way? I feel like Brunson, he almost takes that matchup with Daniels personal.
Oh.
Like he hears everybody say Daniels is the best defender. People were calling him the Brunson stop. I feel like he just takes it a little too personal. Like he wants to just prove a point. Like, okay,
I can definitely
you're this
see
type of defender. All right, let's see. I just feel like that for some reason.
I can definitely see that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I feel.
I can definitely see that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. He's got to make better decisions at points. And it's not every single night, but there are some nights.
Right.
When you're like, come on, let's make some better decisions out there.
Absolutely. No, 100%.
And so I was definitely discouraged by the fourth quarter.
I'm with you.
Fourth quarter.
I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely discouraged by the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
You gotta do better than that.
I'm with you, man.
You gotta do better than that. So you guys can see the shot chart on your screen right now. Karl Anthony Towns, 3 shots in the fourth quarter. 1 3, or 2 threes. He made 1 3, then 2 shots at the elbow.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Jalen Brunson,
Yeah.
3-pointer miss, kind of the elbow miss. 1 at the box make, 3-pointer make, baseline miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. JJ, appreciate your time, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
Peace,
All right,
JJ.
Peace.
Peace.
Tony, what's good, bro?
What
How
up,
you feeling,
son?
man? How you feeling about the game?
Oh man, I mean, relieved. Relieved is a good word.
Okay.
You know. I felt like they took their foot off the gas. All that talk about, not thinking about the break before the break. I felt like in the middle of the game, they started thinking about the break. You know what I'm saying?
Started thinking about them vacation plans. Yeah.
I think a lot of the things you and JJ were pointing out, for me, to me, it goes to Tibbs, because he has to. If you see it going awry, or you see it, you know what I mean, not going a certain way, especially when you call your timeouts, you know what I mean, adjust. I agree. We didn't utilize the mismatch of Trae Young on McHale, knowing how effective it was the previous game, which I was astounded by that. The only thing I could say is Brunson and Cat both had it going, and not necessarily at the same time. It was almost as if they were taking turns. So, you know what I mean? The other guys can get lost in that. But it also boils down to them figuring it out too. You know what I mean? Because they were rolling. It's not like they were necessarily being selfish. I think they just took their eye off the ball late in the game. Brunson had, I don't think his shot selection was bad. I think his decision making was sloppy. Turnover, you know what I mean? A couple late turnovers. I forgot what the other instance was, but he just wasn't on his A game, basketball IQ wise, in the late in the game. But they squeaked it out. You know what I mean?
Squeaked it out, but damn.
I do want to shout out Precious though. You know what I mean? I've been telling y'all.
Precious, man.
You know what I mean? When his minutes go up, he you know what I mean? He comes through.
Yeah, I feel
and it's proven. You know what I mean? What he had 26. What he had 26
20,
or 24?
22 maybe. 20. I think he had 20. He had 26.
Nah, he had 24, I think. Because
let's check it out.
Because they was all in the paint.
Yeah,
except
Precious,
for his
26 points for Precious tonight.
So yeah, 24 in the paint, 2 free throws.
Yeah.
No jumpers. See what I mean?
Nah,
Super
Precious. You know, he's been doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? In that starting role, getting big minutes. 42 minutes tonight, getting big minutes, doing his thing. I got on the line. I got Cory from Rochester. Cory, what's good, man?
Yo, what up, fellas? Tony. Now, of course, you know Scoop.
I got a new name, yeah. I'm gonna put that up there. Scoop.
It was good.
Scoop, no doubt.
The Podfathers. The Podfather Scoop.
Yeah, man. I can't. That's got to be your name, man. I'm sorry, man, because you just a scooper, man. You scooping up these details for these Knicks fans.
Okay, but I don't be getting scoops like breaking news scoops, though. You did? I don't get those kind of scoops.
I can't take them nothing else.
All right, nah, it's cool. Do what you do. Do what you do.
Huh?
Talk to me. I said, do what you do. It's all good, man. Talk to me about the game.
All fun and love, man.
Yeah,
you know me. All fun and love.
Talk to me about the game.
Oh, my goodness. Yo, the crazy thing was I missed the first half of the game because I was at work.
Okay.
I had a short day. So then when I finally got home, I caught nearly the late second quarter, and we were doing pretty good. But then when I saw Atlanta was making that late run in that end of the first half, I says, "Uh-oh, you're gonna let it's gonna be a tough game for these Knicks to put it out."
Yeah.
But Karl Anthony Towns was catching fire in that third quarter. I mean, I saw him hit like threes like back to back. I'm like, uh-oh, here we go again.
Yeah.
Knicks go up by at least 14 or 16 points.
Right.
But Atlanta doesn't go away.
Right.
But here comes the scarier part that which I know you've seen. Now, when we was up 6 points with 10 seconds left to go at the end of the regulation, we let this dude Nang, who just got traded from Cleveland to Atlanta, hit a big three to cut our lead in half, and then the inbound pass, why you let Cat inbound the ball, and he was trying to get the pass to Bridges, and then, boom, miscommunication, and this dude steals the ball. I think it was number 5, the one that was guarding Brunson pretty good. He gets the steal, and luckily he got fouled, but luckily it wasn't an and one.
Almost got an and one. Yeah.
Right. And that's what scared me. I'm like, oh, no.
Well, see, the thing is.
And that could have possibly. Oh, go ahead. What you going to say?
No, see, the thing is, it's okay for Cat to inbound the basketball. He's a professional. Yeah. He can inbound the basketball. He knows how to inbound the basketball. You just gotta be smart. You can't be lazy. And he was lazy with the inbound.
Right. You can't be hesitant.
Yeah, he was lazy. It's like at that point in time, we kind of mailed it in and said, all right, we won this basketball game. Let's hurry up and catch the flight to wherever we're going. You know what I'm saying? And Atlanta, still fighting for their lives, playoff lives,
because Atlanta still got something to play for.
Yeah, they're still trying.
Right.
They're still trying.
And I'm like, what are you doing? You're trying to give the game away? Come on, man.
We almost gave it away.
You're a veteran, bro. You're a superstar. You can't do that. Then, luckily, like I said, that and one didn't happen, because if that was an and one, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That could have been the loss coming.
Yeah, we almost gave it away, man. Luckily, we was able to pull it out. And I got to give it to Brunson. Big shot by Brunson in overtime.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt about it. But, down the stretch and in overtime, I thought it was too much Brunson, not enough Karl Anthony Towns.
Right. Yeah. But Brunson is scaring me with his dribble penetration, because he's nearly coughing it up at the wrong times of these possessions, though. And that's what's really concerning about me. I'm like, oh, no, Brunson, come on, man.
I mean,
these are key possessions we need.
Yeah, Dyson Daniels has played good defense on him since he's been in the league.
Oh, he's tough.
You know what I mean? He's a tough defender. He could have been a New York Knick. But anyway, he's a tough defender. He's played really, really good defense on Brunson. And it is like Brunson wanted to prove a point. All right, he hit the shot. I dig it. But we got to be smarter, man. We got to be smarter. But Cory,
right.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. I got some things I got to get to. I know there's some people that want to call in for tonight. You know what I'm saying? So, I definitely want to get around, but I always appreciate the support, brother.
I got you, bro. Love.
Peace. Yeah. The Knicks had an 18-point lead, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Knicks' biggest lead of the night. Had an 18-point lead. The Hawks didn't take a lead until overtime, I believe it was, right? Mm-hmm. Took their first lead in overtime. Their biggest lead was a 5-point lead that they had in overtime. Maybe they took a lead in the fourth. I don't know. At some point late in the game, they took their first lead of the game. Their biggest lead was 5. That was in overtime. The Knicks managed to come back from that 5-point lead. The game was tied 4 times. The longest run was 11. Lead changes 6. But an 18-point lead, and you let this team back in.
I think Cat went on like a 15 run. 15 straight points for us.
Yeah, something like that.
In the third quarter?
Yeah. I'm glad we're out of it, and we get out of it with a win. You know what I mean? And it's obvious, it's clear and obvious that there are things that we've really got to look at and focus on, going into, going into the break, right? We don't even have to. The Knicks only have to look at it and talk about it now. All they got to do is go into the break. Go into the break, and when they get back into practice, Tom Thibodeau needs to have everything ready. Here's how we need to focus on the second half of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Here are things that we need to do to make us better, right? Going into the second half of the season. Or not even the second half of the season, the stretch run of the season. We've passed the second half of the season. Stretch run of the season.
28 games left?
Yeah, like 28 games left.
Mm-hmm.
Glad to get out of it, man.
We in a real good spot, man. This is the most wins. I mean, I forgot. I think this is the third most wins the Knicks have had at the All-Star break.
Yeah,
in the history,
right?
And the most, I can't remember how many years it's been since we've been this good. So
yeah, no doubt about it. This is the best.
Even with all the work that has to still go on, we look where we at. You know what I mean? Like, we ahead of the curve.
Yeah. This is the best we've been in who knows how long.
And if we continue to really get better and hone in on some things that we got to focus on, we really will be playing our best at you know what I mean?
I hope so.
At the end of the year.
I really hope so, man.
You know what I mean?
really hope so.
I thought we was gonna peak sooner, but it's looking like, you know what I mean?
We're not
might be
peak
playing
until
our best that we've seen at the end of the year.
I hope so. The Knicks tonight, ladies and gentlemen, were led by Karl Anthony Towns, 44 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. He did have 7 turnovers tonight. Jalen Brunson had 36 points, 8 assists, 3 rebounds. Jalen Brunson had 3 turnovers. Precious Achiuwa was the third leading scorer tonight, 26 points and 8 rebounds for Precious. Josh Hart, 18 points and 10 rebounds. Cam Payne had 10 points, another nice night for Cam Payne.
Yep.
Right? 11 points for Mikal Bridges, another low night for Mikal Bridges. Only 8 shot attempts. He was 5 for 8 tonight. I think last night he had 6 points.
Yep.
Right? Any thoughts about that?
I mean, again, the good thing is we are where we are, and we know there's things we got to work on. They got to figure out how to get him involved, really. You know what I mean? He's got to, again, tonight was a night where they had a formula. Yeah, I used it already.
Mm-hmm.
Why not exploit it again? I don't know. What I will say, though, at the same time, the other 2 guys, Brunson and Cat, had it going, you know what I mean, so much, maybe that deterred him from, you know what I mean, being utilized. But they got to figure out the balance of it, because that's when we will be at our best, when we're figuring out how to utilize OG, Bridges, Hart. I think he's continues to do what he does regardless. He'll figure that out on his own. I don't think nobody has to really help him out in that area. But yeah, that's when we'll be at our best, when we're really utilizing all 5 guys in that starting unit.
Yeah.
But everything's coming along slowly. You know what I mean? Like, the bench is getting better. If Precious continues this stride and then can bring that same energy off the bench, which I have no doubt that he will, you know what I mean? That's going to help our bench.
Yeah. And seeing what Precious can do, I mean, he took 16 shot attempts. Maybe the Knicks start to feature him a little bit more off the bench to help boost that bench production, scoring production.
And it was 12 for 16, right?
12 for 16 tonight.
You know what I mean? Efficient shooting.
Mm-hmm.
No jumpers. You know what I mean? Like, so he's clean. His game is getting more polished as we go along.
Right.
So that's gonna help.
Yeah.
Cam is looking like this is back-to-back games for Cam, where, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? He came in and was productive. So that's good. You know, let's see if Deuce can have a healthy stretch. Like, it feels like he's missed a lot of games this year. Periodically.
Yeah, Deuce goes out again tonight with, well, I forgot what it was, but some kind of contusion.
Did they say lip?
I didn't really catch it. I didn't really catch it.
I thought they said lip, but I'm like, I ain't seen him get
lip
hit.
contusion. That's gonna. That's good. I mean, that must be a nasty. That must be nasty. Gash. You know what I mean? If that's what it is. Let me get you another phone call. Caller, you're live. Name and where you're from, please.
Yo, this is Fred.
Where you from, Fred?
I live in South Carolina right now.
All right. What's popping with you, man?
Hey, I'm going to be the one to say it. This team ain't going nowhere. Tibbs is still the coach.
Really?
This is what I got out of this right here.
Okay.
Man. This team is just winning off pure talent. Tibbs doesn't make any game adjustments. The offense is horrible. The defensive scheme is horrible. The rotation is horrible. He's the one that's holding this team back. We got arguably probably top 2 best starting 5 in the league. We should be 1 or 2 in the league as far as our record.
Well,
he's holding the team back.
But okay, let me ask you this though. Okay, maybe we do have, one of the top 3 starting 5s in the league. But what is our bench in the league?
You don't have to. That's the thing, the bench. The bench might not be the best, but you got to learn when to mix and match the players and use them at their strengths when they're on the floor. You can't just go 4 guys in at the same time off the bench. You got to use the guys at their strengths to put them in the game in the situations.
I mean, he's only using 2 or 3 guys off the bench, so he's definitely not going 4 guys in.
Maybe he got to open that up a little bit more, mix and match.
With who?
The guys that we got there.
That's the thing. I mean, I just don't know.
We all like Packham, Dadier.
First of all, Dadier's hurt.
Athletic. He's a rookie.
I mean,
okay, but before he got hurt.
I just don't. I wanted Dadier. I wanted Dadier to play. I don't know if he's ready to play. And I'm gonna stick by what I've been saying. Me and Tony been talking about it a lot. I'm gonna stick by it. All of these players that we all asking for Tom Thibodeau to play. We did the same thing with Deuce. Tibbs has been right about all of these guys. When they play, they're ready to play. He's been right. He hasn't been wrong about them. He hasn't been wrong about it.
I give you that.
You know what I mean?
You got 82 games in the season to get them ready.
I mean, they got to get ready too, though. I dig it. I think that this regime has done a good job developing players.
I give him a B.
A B?
I give him a B.
A B?
I give him a B. As far as developing the players, I give him a B. Now, as far as this season here, coaching, I give him a C. They should be far better than what they are right now with the lineup they have.
We got the best record at this point that we've had in how long, Tony? How long did you say?
The third best ever in Knicks history.
At this point in the season.
At this point, and the most in over 20 years.
And that's because of the talent we have, not the coaching. That's the talent.
Can I ask you a couple? I mean, number one, we're 4th in the league. So even if you think we're the second best team or should be, we're 4th in the league. So we're not that far off. We're third in the East.
I mean, should we be the second best team?
I mean, I'm just going by his argument. Even if that's the case, we're not far off. And I think that even if we're going off of talent right now, I think Tibbs, as well as the team, there's a learning curve for both of them. For him to adjust to his new players and for the team to adjust to each other. So, given all them circumstances, I mean, you could really argue he's ahead of the curve, and his history has been overachieving every step of the way with whatever roster he's given.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna disagree on that. I'm gonna disagree on we're ahead of the curve with Tibbs, and I'm gonna disagree is because we have the talent.
Right.
We have the talent. He's not making any adjustments. He's not. How many times
all
we
three of us
see on the
agree
defensive
he
end?
doesn't adjust in game.
He's not a great in game adjuster.
We all agree
on that.
He barely adjusts after the game, still going into the game. How many times we see the same defensive scheme where we're doubling and switching on the perimeter and guys are getting left wide open for three? We've been going through that for the last 4 years. It ain't changed. It's the same thing all day, every game. On the offensive end, one-on-one basketball with Brunson at the top of the key. You got a dominant center, play from the inside out. Give it to Cat, let him go to work down low. When a double team comes, kick it out to the guy open so we can hit our threes. Let them get clean open shots.
I've been arguing the same thing, but I also think Tibbs needs time. He's already adjusted to Brunson. He already knows what to do with Brunson. Right now, it's going to take him time to figure out how to maximize Cat. I agree that he's not maximizing Cat yet. I've been saying that all year, and I think that's another time will be even more scary. But I don't think he's going to adjust. I mean, I'm hoping he utilizes it more in the playoffs, but I think this is something that comes over time. And when I say that, I mean like next year.
And we have the number 2 offensive rating in the league. Right? Our offensive rating is 119.9. I don't know how we can say the offense isn't good. We can make better decisions. We can make better decisions at certain points in the game. But we have the second best offense in the league.
Yeah, but we could still be better. We watching these games. We wouldn't know that by not looking at the stats. But we watching the game. We see what's going on.
We could, but our defense can be. Our defense right now is 18th in the league. Well, our defensive rating is 113.9.
And that's because of the scheme.
Or is it because of the players?
Because of the scheme.
Or is it because of the players? Because last year we had one of the top 5 defenses in the league. And the year before that. Right? I mean, this team under Tibbs has a track record of being one of the top defensive teams in the league.
Sim, you know what else they have a track record of under Tibbs? Slow starts defensively.
True. So last year, let me correct myself. Last year, we were 9th in the league, top 10 defense, 112.4. Right? The year before that, we were 8th in the league. Right? So what's different?
Those teams were a little more scrappier. But I'm solely like I'm not worried about the defensive rating as far as where they stand on that. We know what we watching. We see what the problem is. And it's the same problem night in and night out. How many times we watch these games and we see some no-name guy light us up for 5 or 6 threes, and we like, where did this guy come from?
I agree. And I can guarantee you it happens across the league every night.
And also,
but it's happening to us too much.
I think people don't agree with his philosophy.
At all, I don't.
And that I mean, that's fair.
I respect that.
You know what I mean? That's fair. A lot of people don't agree with his defensive, you know what I mean, his philosophies. But the track record, you know what I mean, the win percentage, the like, you can't deny what he has done time in and time out.
Yeah.
Especially here.
I mean, we can't live on the past, man. This is a new NBA.
I mean, but what about the present with 36 and 18?
They should be better than that.
Hold up. we're 36-18. We're 25-11 in the conference, 9-2 in the division, 19-10 at home, 17-8 on the road, 8-2 in the last 10 games. We've won 2 in a row, right? And let's get this. All right, let's look at our roster right now. Karl Anthony Towns, new to the team. Mikal Bridges, new to the team. OG Anunoby played half of last season. He came in January. Precious Achiuwa came half of last season. Right? Cam Payne, new to the team. Landry Shamet, new to the team. Huck Porty, new to the team. How many new players? Right now, Jalen Brunson, Deuce McBride, and Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson is the longest tenured Knick. He is the longest tenured Knick, and he hasn't played yet this season.
Which changes us defensively.
I mean, so you're talking right now of the players that's on the floor, that's actually playing, Jalen Brunson and Deuce McBride are the longest tenured Knicks out there on the floor. Everybody else is, for the most part, new. Even when we're talking about Precious and OG, they played from January to the playoffs of last year. You know what I'm saying? And now
here a year and a month.
Yeah.
And with all of what you said there, they can still be better than what they are right now.
I mean, but so you're not giving any time for them to really come together as a team, because we're comparing them against Boston, who obviously has been together for a long time. Cleveland, who's been together a little bit longer. Their players have been together longer than the Knicks players have been together, right? They got Donovan Mitchell.
It don't take that long to gel together, man.
It may not take. Hold on.
These are pros, man.
Hold on.
It don't take that long.
But hold on. But listen. But we're comparing them. The teams that are above us have been together for a minute, not a year and a half. OKC,
doesn't mean anything.
That group has been together for a while.
Anything.
I think it means a lot.
Doesn't mean anything.
It means a whole lot, man.
When you're a young team trying to gel together, but we got vets on this team. We ain't got a bunch of 22, 23-year-olds out there.
But what's that got to do with them learning how to play with each other?
We're trying to learn how to play. We got established players on this team. They should be better than what they are right now. We can't keep settling for the mediocre.
We're not mediocre.
Go above that.
We're not mediocre though. We're a top 5 team in the league.
I think this is the argument of we should be better versus we could be better, or we will be better. I think it's impatient.
We should be better than what we are right now. What good is all this going to do us if we still get bounced in the second round?
Say that again. I'm sorry, I didn't hear everything you said.
What good is all this going to do us if we still get bounced in the second round?
What's it good?
And then next year we'll be saying the same thing again.
I mean, I don't want to get bounced in the second round. I can tell you what, right now, it's looking like we would play Boston in the second round, and that's a tough team to beat by anybody.
5 games.
Right? That's a tough. I mean, I don't care who plays them.
5 games.
I don't care who plays them. It's going to be tough to beat Boston. I don't care who plays them. It's going to be tough to beat them. You know what I'm saying? And that's the course that we're on right now. And if you want to win, you got to beat the best. That's what it is. There's still more that this team needs to add. There's no doubt about it. It's more that this team needs to add to be better. I don't know, there's some games that we should have won, but I do think we got to look at and understand that this team is forming. We're not like, okay, if this was last year's team, right?
Run it back, you saying?
Yeah, if we had ran it back from last year and all we did was add Mikal Bridges, I can look and say, okay, that team had been together for a while. And if we had expectations that they would be a top 3 team in the league, I could understand it. Right, because they had been together for so long, and they had some chemistry, and had gelled so well already. This team is still learning, and they're 36-18. They're still figuring out how to play together.
What is it that they're figuring out?
They're still okay. Great question. Great question. I think they're figuring out each other's tendencies. Right. Who gets the ball where? who plays best in what situations, who needs to get the ball down the stretch. Right now, Brunson is doing that. But who, in what situation, against what matchups do they get the ball down the stretch? I think Tibbs has to learn the tendencies of the players that's on his team too, right? And people can say, well, he coached Karl Anthony Towns before. This is a different Karl Anthony Towns. He was way younger then. He's much more mature now, right? So how do I use these guys the best? You know what I'm saying? How do guys react? How do guys react in certain situations? So I might not play this guy in this situation because he goes off a little bit, but I could play this guy. You know what I'm saying? You start to learn these type of things the longer you coach players and the longer you coach teams, right? The team that we had last year, Tibbs had coached that group for a while. Besides OG and Precious, right? So you kind of know what buttons to push. Now you get a whole new team. You got to learn those buttons again. And we're 36-18 while learning that.
Shouldn't even take that long. 15 games, you should already know that.
15 games.
You got training camp, you got practice. 15 games, you should already know that.
Come on, man.
Usually we say 20 games.
Come on, man.
We can't even judge the team before 20 games. Like, that's our rule.
Dang. My man said 15 games. We got to know it all.
15 games, he should already know it, man.
All right. Fred, I appreciate the call, man. You got to call back more.
All right. Have a nice night, fellas.
Appreciate the insight, bro. Peace. Damn. 15 games. You got to have the whole thing down pat, ready to go. Championship level. Let's go. 15 games. You know what I'm saying? Nah, it takes longer than that, man.
You got to have some patience, man.
It takes longer than that. My man said 15 of them.
And enjoy where we at. Like, appreciate where we at is what I'm saying. Like, it could have not. We could have not been this playing this well or be this good, and it would have. I think it still would have been all right. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
I'm happy where we are.
I can understand if we were a 500 ball club right now. I can understand. You know what I'm saying? I could definitely understand if we was a 500 ball club, but not top 5 in the league. We're 5th in the league. I think a half game behind OKC. Or not OKC, Memphis.
Minnesota.
Memphis. Half game behind Memphis. 5th in the league. So, I mean, caller, you're live. Name me where you're from, please.
Sim, this is Ron from Pittsburgh.
Oh, Ron. What's up, Ron? Ron from Pittsburgh.
How you doing, Tony?
What's up, brother?
Not much. I'll make it short. I don't know what it would take to satisfy that guy. I mean, I'm not trying to make fun of him. I understand. I understand where I think I understand where he's coming from, but maybe I don't understand where he's coming from. I mean, look, a win is a win. And there's going to be turnovers. There's going to be bad passes. There's going to be guys that are cold on any given night. At the end of the day, it's all about the win. And I don't know. I don't know what he expects. I mean, it would have been nice last year if Cleveland of last year was not the Cleveland of this year. That would be nice. Then we'd be sitting at the number 2 spot. But that's just the way it goes. Cleveland's a great team this year. But the only thing I wanted to point out, although it was a back and forth game, I mean, it's exciting for the fans anyway. I mean, they leave happy, I mean, and they're in good shape. And the thing I wanted to point out, the thing that made me happiest was seeing the stat of Cat hitting 7 of 10 from 3. Now, I'm not going to pretend that finger is not bothering him. I'm sure it probably hurts like hell. But still, 7 of 10 from 3. I mean, that's like the Cat before injury. Because for a while there, we were worrying, or at least I was a little bit, about how much that finger may or may not affect his outside shot. But over these last couple of games, I think he answered that question. 70% from 3-point from your 5. And the other thing I would bring out, and I'm not trying to bail Cat out about his defense. I know he's average at best, I would say, defensively. But I think part of that also is that he might not want to get into foul trouble. I mean, they can't afford for him to get in foul trouble when you're talking about a 44-point scorer. So that might have something to do with, not being overly aggressive on defense. Again, it's not a complete excuse. I mean, I know that he's not great defensively, but I think that we don't want to take any chances seeing him fall out, or like Brunson having 5 fouls a couple of games ago. That's something else to think about. But no, I'm happy. I'm happy with what they're doing. I mean, I think it's, as long as the ending is a win, you can put up with any of the. You could always nitpick,
right.
Bad passes by Josh Hart, decisions. This didn't go well. That didn't go well. But beating up on, well, not beating up. They barely won, but I mean, winning against teams that are not the top maybe 3, if you want to throw Oklahoma City in there with Cleveland and Boston. That's a lot. It's a lot to be proud of. It's sad to see a lot of Knicks fans that feel like he feels. When they are, record-wise, they're playing very well, and it's exciting basketball. Yeah. It's entertaining basketball.
Okay.
And if you end up with a win to go with it, even if it is close, that's fine with me. I mean, I enjoy those games as long as they win, as long as you end up with a win. I think when OG gets back and Mitch eventually comes back, you'll see better defense. But you're not going to get much defense out of Brunson, and you're not going to get much defense out of Cat. And that's partially, because their primary focus is on scoring points. They're your main guys. And the ones that aren't scoring as much, like Bridges, usually, not always, and OG the same. If they can clamp down on defense better, especially Bridges, you got a well-rounded team. And I was looking over some of the names of guys that are out there, and I was really shocked at some of them. Now, I don't totally understand, their situation financially. I know they have almost no money to work with, and they're left with paying the minimum. And some of the guys that are out there without a team, I'm not sure that all of them have enough. They might have too much pride to play for the minimum. But if they're out there for a reason. And there's going to be more guys that are going to be probably out there in the next few weeks. And they might get lucky. They might be able to pick up another big guy, another forward that can help balance out that bench.
Yeah.
No. And the guys are right about the talent part. They are talented. So let's face it. I mean, Boston is a big hurdle to get over. It just is. They didn't have Holiday. They didn't have KP in that game. And it sucks not to be number one. Ask the Kansas City Chiefs about that. But, it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, and
you got one of the top 5 teams in the NBA,
right,
at least record-wise.
Right.
Yeah. To not be happy and to be miserable and angry and, talking about mismatches and Tibbs doesn't know what he's doing and whatever. I mean, look, nobody's a mathematician. Nobody is going to, has a computer in their head that's going to dictate exactly how a guy's going to perform or match up against this guy or that guy.
Right.
So you do the best you can, and you try to put a good product on the floor. And I would think that the fans would have to be happy. And even if they do end up getting to that second level, and maybe again, losing out. And that's the way it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you got some.
You got to try to get better.
Sorry.
No, and you got to do what you do to get better. Through internal development, chemistry, and adding players. You know what I'm saying?
And I do think that they're making the right decision with this rookie class. I mean, I'm not convinced that Kolek is ready.
No.
Huck Porty can get in there and get some rebounds and get a little experience behind him. But if they're not ready, they're not ready. Hopefully they could be in a rotation next year. Right. If they can continue to improve.
And that's what you're trying to do. Ron, I appreciate your time.
Yeah, I was just going to end it.
Appreciate you, bro.
Okay, thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Have a good one. Later.
Great call.
A lot of people making some comments in the chat. I want to start with. Let me see who I want to start with.
I got some highlighted too.
Let's start with Sean. Let me bring this one over here. My guy, he never calls in. Him and Greg never call in. Make comments in the chat. I dig that, though. Keep making comments, though. All right, keep making comments. Anyway, he says, all this channel does is give Thibodeau a pass. When did New York get this solved? So I'm gonna read some things out. Oh, that's the wrong thing to put up. There we go. Let me read some things out up here. 2022, 2023, the New York Knicks, 47-35, 8th in the league. All right. Actually, maybe let's go back a year before that. Well, let's go back even farther than that. 2020, 2021, the New York Knicks, 41-31. Okay? 41-31. This was Tibbs' first year. Now, before 2020, 2021, 2019, 2020, the New York Knicks were 21-45. 21-45. Mark that in your brain. 2020, 2021, the New York Knicks 41-31. 2021, 2022, the Knicks were 37-45. Injuries to Derrick Rose, right? The Knicks suffered some injuries. They were 37-45. Missed the playoffs. 2022, 2023, the New York Knicks 47-35. 8th in the league. 2023, 2024, the New York Knicks 50-32, 7th in the league. And now, 2024, 2025, the New York Knicks are 36-18, on record to win more than 50 games, and they're 5th in the league.
500. We go 500, we win 50.
We go 500, we win 50 games. Right? So every year, this team has gotten better under Tom Thibodeau, except for 1 year. Right? Second year when they were 37 and whatever. 37-45. Every year, this team has gotten better.
And didn't we miss the playoffs by like 2 games that year?
Yeah, something like 2 games. Something like that. I don't know.
It was another one I had highlighted that basically said, I think it was Kavan. He said, the caller was right and Tibbs should be better. And I just feel like he will be better. I feel like there's a grace period. It's not even about defending Tibbs. I've gone on record plenty of times of things I don't agree with Tibbs. But he's the coach. And no one ever tells you who would they prefer? Like, if who's a coach that I wouldn't mind coaching the Knicks right now with this roster? Houston's coach. I think he would be great on this roster. We'll get great for this roster. He's young enough to have some modern viewpoints, and he still has that defensive, old school mindset. I think he would be great. But there's not many coaches that I think would do a better job than Tibbs right now.
Right.
And if there is a better coach, they may not do a better job immediately. So now you're talking about a whole, you know what I mean, a whole year of grace that you got to give that coach to kind of develop his philosophy onto the players.
Right. I mean, Milkman 23 said Spo, but Spo is Spo coming to coach this team? Go ahead and get rid of Tibbs and try to get Spo. It's not happening.
And I argue it's not much of a change.
Right. You know, he may be better at adjusting. You know, Udoka, is he leaving Houston? No. Like, we're talking about coaches who have teams that are playing well and winning, and they're not leaving. What are we talking about?
And that's part of the formula for success. Us not getting rid of our coach every other year.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, let the man continue to do his job until he's not getting the job done.
Right. Until they're not getting better. I don't know. John said, what is Thibodeau doing great as a coach? Please give me answers. The Knicks are the 5th best team in the league. They've been in the playoffs 3 of the last 4 years? 4 of the last 5 years. 4 of the last 5 years. Before Tom Thibodeau came to this team, they were 21-41. What has he done great? He's built a culture. He's built a winning culture with this basketball team. He's provided structure and stability. That's what he's done great. And if you overestimate those things for a basketball coach, then you don't know what you're talking about. Because that is what you need for a team to be successful. You need culture. You need structure. You need stability. All of those things have been provided here with Tom Thibodeau.
And the players believe in him. That's the crazy part. Like, I don't know how often, it don't matter who it is. Whether you go back to Randall or you go to Brunson, I'm sure we're going to hear it from Cat pretty soon. And I think we have already. But these guys are saying the same type of things that you hear from Tibbs, that you've heard from Tibbs his whole time here, as far as the mindset, as far as continuing to get better, about keeping their eye on the game in front of them, about like all these different points of discipline and focus. Like, that's how you build culture that we did not have before.
Yeah.
I don't know if they remember.
Right. Let's go back to 1920. 1920. Let's go back to 2019, 2020. Let's go back then. Oh, no, man. Oh, no. On Diaz says, Sam Tony, we could always go back to Jeff. Yes, please, let's go back to Jeff Hornacek. Let's do that. Let's go back to Jeff Hornacek with Phil Jackson running the show. Let's go back and do that. Let's go back to
the only good coach we had in the last over 10 years, maybe almost since Jeff Van Gundy. I feel like the only good coach we had was Mike Woodson. Mike Woodson is the only coach that I felt like was good for the team, the team he coached.
Yeah. Oh no, man. Ah, boy. Brooklyn Butch. Can Tibbs get us into the playoffs healthy with his style of coaching? Keyword healthy. What do you think?
I
What do you think,
I
Tony?
like that comment because that's a fair argument for people who have that argument and they give their reasons as to why they feel however they feel about Tibbs. I get that. I don't agree with it, but I get it. Because I don't think it's. I mean, players get hurt all across the league. You watch it, you see it every single year. He has that reputation. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not going anywhere. But I think that's a fair you know what I mean? Like, you give your reasons as to why you dislike Tibbs. I think I don't think it. I think the question should not have Tibbs' name in it, and it'd be like, can the Knicks get to the playoffs healthy? I think because that's the question you can ask for every single team in the league. Can the Bucks get to the playoffs healthy? Can he? You know what I mean? Like, but when you put it on the coach to say he's getting these guys hurt, I think that's an unfair narrative that is put on Tibbs.
Yeah, it's been put on Tibbs for a while. Yeah, I don't know, man. You know, it's hard to argue with success. You know, it is very hard to argue with success. For me, it's hard to argue when you've seen somebody come in when the team had 19 wins, 21 wins, and totally turn it around with primarily the same roster. Who was added to that team? Mook?
Mm-hmm.
No, Mook was gone.
No. Mook was
the
year before.
Was the year before. So who was added to that team to make them better?
I mean, they kept Randall, which
they kept Randall.
Wasn't gonna do.
They had RJ. They had Peyton. They had Mitchell Robinson.
Was it what's the name? The small forward, defender, shooter. He played in Dallas, I think. 6'7".
Who was
had the hair with the I don't know, it was like half dread, half fade. Come on, chat, help me out. Reggie Bullock.
Reggie Bullock was added to that team. Yep, Reggie Bullock was added.
Alec Burks.
Alec Burks added to that team.
Or was that the next year? No, Burks was there.
Burks was there, I think. Derrick Rose ended up coming to that team.
Nerlens Noel, was he new?
Nerlens Noel was on that team. I think he was added to that team. And Derrick Rose ended up coming to that team.
Yep, in the middle of the year.
In the middle of the year. They were around 500 when Derrick Rose got there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Around 500. You know. I mean, I don't know. Oh, the Knicks are on the right path. That's all I gotta say. Knicks are on the right path. We're doing right. We're doing right.
And it's crazy, like, because this is like half the fan base split on this. If we get to the finals and we don't win, it's gonna, you know what I mean? It ain't even gonna be like, yo, let him, you know what I mean? Let him figure out how to get over the hump.
Right.
Nope. They gonna be like, yo, he can't get us over the hump. We gotta get somebody that can win the finals.
Exactly. That's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be. We already know that. That's exactly what it's gonna be.
Let somebody. Don't let him get there and then be like he can't get over the hump. Let him try to get over the hump first before you say he can't.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
boy. What a game tonight, man. What a game tonight.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. It's good that we don't gotta dwell on, you know, how some of them wins we get. It's like it's hard to enjoy.
Yeah.
Because of sometimes the opponent, sometimes just how we scrape it out. But it's good to get these two. He's back on a back-to-back going into the break. You know what I mean? Knowing we're going to have a break. You know what I mean? We're going to potentially get some guys coming back.
Right.
We're going to get some practice time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this feels like a good time to really prepare for the stretch run.
Yeah.
And you know, the way they judging Tibbs now, I feel cautious in saying like this is the time we should start judging them, like the stretch run, because they're already judging them. So it's it's tough to even say put that pressure on them.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like this is where we could really figure out where we stand. Like where we stand right now, as it is, 5th in the league. You know what I mean? We struggled against 3 of those top teams. You know what I mean? 3 of the teams ahead of us. But that's still not, you know what I mean? That's not a bad spot, man.
Yeah.
We beating teams we supposed to and
figuring out how to beat the teams above us. Trying to figure that out.
How to beat
trying
them.
to figure that out. And that's the ups and downs of a season. That's the challenges of a season right there. Of a team.
And one of them we should have won. At least one of them the first OKC game we should have won. You know what I mean? You could argue that.
Mm-hmm. Right. We should have won that one. We should have beat them.
Go ahead, Craig. Give me tomatoes. I make ketchup, bro.
The Hawks put up a lot of numbers tonight. 47 rebounds. They out-rebounded the Knicks 47-39. They had 43 assists tonight, 19 by Trae Young.
Crazy. This was the highest scoring game in the league so far.
Okay.
Both teams combined.
12 steals for the Hawks, 10 blocks, 12 turnovers. The Knicks, 39 rebounds, 28 assists, 6 steals, 5 blocks for the Knicks, 17 turnovers for the Knicks tonight. But see, the Knicks shot better, 57% from the field for the Knicks, or 57.4% from the field for the Knicks, 42.3% from the three-point line, and 81.1% from the free throw line. The Hawks win the battle of the paint, 78-72. The Hawks won the second chance points, 28-13. The Hawks won the fast break points, 24-11. It was the shooting that got the Knicks to win.
Back-to-back 40-point games for Karl Anthony Towns. He joins the short list of Knicks players to do that.
Yeah.
Brunson is in there. You know, Melo in there. I'm not sure if Randall's in there.
I don't think
Randall. It was only like 6 players. So
yeah,
you know what I mean, he joined that list.
Yeah. Sean said, "What success?" I don't give a damn about regular season success at this point. Leon Rose gave that man the roster to win a chip. The coach just ain't good enough. I don't agree that this roster is good enough to win a chip. I'm sorry. I think we need more.
And we ain't even in the playoffs yet. So
right.
So what? You talk about a previous roster?
You talk about last year's roster? Right.
That should have won a chip.
Right. Like, how do you? First of all, I don't think this roster is ready to win a chip. I think we need to add one more piece, and then let the team continue to develop chemistry. Right? I mean, you look at the Boston Celtics. Yeah, they won a chip, right? But for years, it was the same thing. They would get close. They couldn't get there. You know, they couldn't win it. They kept adding pieces to the team. They kept upgrading the roster to make it better. You know what I mean? This is a brand new basketball team, Sean. Brand new. I'm sorry. You can say what you want. It's brand new. It's a brand new team. So, right, Tony asked you, what roster you talking about? This roster? Because this roster has never been to the playoffs together. Last year's roster did, but last year's roster ain't hit. You can't tell me the team's not having success. You know, everyone's gonna say that the regular season. I mean, we are building something here. For the last 5 years, this team has been in the playoffs. They've gotten better record-wise every year. Last year, barring injury, without injury, they're in the Eastern Conference Finals.
You know, when you plant a tree,
it's growth, baby.
you know what I mean? You gotta let it grow. You know what I mean? You plant an apple tree.
That's what happened.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Damn, this joint ain't producing no apples.
You gotta let it grow.
Let me cut it down. I'm gonna plant a peach tree. That's what they do, right? Apple tree ain't producing no apples. Cut it down and plant a peach tree. They ain't give it time to produce peaches. I'm gonna cut it down and put a cherry tree there.
Yep.
They ain't cut it. They ain't drawn no cherries yet. Well, I guess I'll just plant some watermelon. I don't know. Something's got to work.
We just go to the supermarket and buy stuff. You wasting money, man. Let it grow. Let it take time and grow, and then you enjoy the fruits.
Exactly. And then enjoy the fruits. Gritty Grit said, "Who is better than Tibbs that's available? Nobody." That's nobody.
And that's the other thing. It's also about timing. You know what I mean? Like, so somebody just becomes available. You don't run and you fire your coach and jump on that situation either. Yeah. You know what I mean? You let the stars align. You know what I mean? You let the opportunity happen when Tibbs messes up and those two things align. Then you do it. You know what I mean? You don't just pounce on somebody.
Yeah.
It's bad karma.
Saying,
let it build.
Let it build. Let it build till it ain't building no more. Let it grow till it ain't growing no more. Let us see where we plateau. Can we see that? And then start to make a decision because we haven't plateaued yet. We're in the midst of the best season that we've had in decades. We obviously haven't plateaued.
With career years again, it's looking like Brunson again, Cat, Hart.
2 starters in the All-Star game.
You know what I mean? Like yeah, 2 starters in the All-Star game.
The best season that we've had in decades, bro. In decades. Gotta let that thing go, man.
Before I was watching the Knicks.
Mm-hmm. We gotta let it go.
Because we remember we brought it up as a question before we knew definitively, and we was it Starks and was it Houston and Sprewell and none of these guys that I watched when we had 2 All-Stars were both starting.
Gotta let it grow. The Knicks are on pace to be better than that 2012-2013 team record-wise. That team was 54-28. They're on pace to be better than that.
And that's the difference. Like, here's what I say about this. And I know a lot of y'all are not going to like it. As we stand currently, I was probably more encouraged with the chances of that team winning the championship that year than I am with this team this year. But the difference is this team this year is in year 1 and has a 4-year window to figure things out and continue to grow and add another piece, like you said, Sim, or you know what I mean? Whatever it is that we need to figure it out.
Yeah.
I agree it's a better team, but at this point currently where we stand and where that team was going into the playoffs, I felt more comfortable with that team that year. I thought that was
I dig it. I dig it. You know what I'm saying?
But we knew that was the last stand for a lot of those guys.
Right. You know what I'm saying? That team was old. That team was mad old. That team was super old. You know what I'm saying? And they put that team together thinking that they'd be able to win the championship. Right? Thinking that they'd be able to win the championship. And obviously it didn't happen. Second round exit. You know, second round exit for the Knicks. 211 wins under Tom Thibodeau since he's taken over this team.
How many losses?
That's what I'm calculating right now. Calculating the losses right now. But they got 211 wins. All right, and that's over 5 seasons. Right? And for the losses, and this is going to count this season here. We got 18 losses, 161. So we're 211 and 161. Right? 76% win percentage. Come on, give it to me. Come on, y'all. Come on. What y'all like? What we talking about right now? What we doing? What we doing? Let me get
I
you a
know
phone
what they're
call.
gonna say, son. That's the regular season.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I dig it. I understand that. I dig it. Let me get to my man on the line. Caller, you're live. Name me where you're from, please.
The name Saquon. I'm from Allentown,
Oh,
PA.
my gosh. Did you say Saquon and you're from PA? You hurt my heart, baby. What's up?
I'm not an Eagles fan, though.
Okay.
Even though I don't really watch football like that. I'm more of a basketball fan.
All right.
Oh, you might as well claim him then.
But nah, this game was I don't even know where to start. It looked like both teams had their game mode on easy mode because there was no defense out there.
Yeah, that's true.
I think they combined, they scored 297 points.
Yeah.
It looked like an all-star game out there.
Yeah, crazy.
But thank God Brunson hit that shot because I did not want to see Trae Young rolling dice again, knowing we have a week off. Like, I would have been a little heated knowing we have a week off and we don't play until, Thursday, I think. But this is the cat I need to see. When we come back from break, I believe we play Cavs and Boston. I need to see this cat. I ain't asking for 40 points all the time, but I need to see more than what he did. Like, I don't need no 11, 9 points, and only taking 8 shots. I need to see Cat in the 20s when we play them.
Right.
Because I need to see him be aggressive. Like, we can't be scared because I already know they're going to throw Holiday at him if Holiday plays. You got to look at Holiday and be like, yo, I got to get him in foul trouble, do something. You taller than him. But that 3 in the corner, I was nervous.
Yeah.
I felt like I had superpowers at that moment, and time stopped for me because I just had flashbacks of like Devin Booker hitting a 3-pointer over us last year, the Nembhard 3, the Maxey 3. Thank God it ain't go in. Now we can go on the All-Star break, watch Cat and Brunson kill it, and when we come back, whenever we come back, at least we ain't lost today. We got to win, so I can be comfortable, but that's all I really got to say.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you, Saquon. I mean, listen, when we come back, we got two big games coming back when we finally make it back, right? I know there's games before that when we come back, but the 21st, 23rd, we got Cleveland and we got Boston.
Them is them ones.
We need those wins. Those are statement games. What do you think about those games?
Yeah, we need those. And even if we don't win, I needed to see it be close. Like, lose by 3. Don't get blown out again and be like, damn, we just can't beat these teams. If it's a close game, I could live with it. But if we get blown out by 20, 30, it just looks bad. And I'll be like, damn, I don't know how we're going to play in the playoffs. We just going to have to pray for luck. But that's all I really got to say.
Yeah. All right, Saquon, I appreciate your time, man. Peace.
My man said he was having flashbacks to Backstreet 3.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess
That joint was slow motion though.
Yeah, no doubt. I guess we should get ready for the Losers Lounge, man. I mean, jump over to the Losers Lounge, get this last one in before the break. All right, folks, we appreciate your time. Everybody that called in, we appreciate your time. Catch us on the Losers Lounge.
Super chat? Yeah, the super chat. I don't know.
Got another one?
Oh,
yeah, I read that one.
Yep. Okay, my bad.
Yeah. Catch us, ladies and gentlemen, on the Losers Lounge. A couple of minutes, you'll get the notification. All right, we out of here. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.